Welcome to Back on the Broomstick,
A modern witch's spoken word grimoire.
where two witchy friends from way back are reconnecting to their pagan roots after a long period of mundanity.
We're rewalking the path of the wise and trying out all the latest spells, rituals, and magical theory in today's witchcraft and pagan practices.
So grab your wand and your incense
Your cauldron and your crystals
and join us
as we get
back on the broomstick.
Hi, and welcome to Back on the Broomstick. I'm Layla, and on this episode, we are welcoming in 2025. This is our very first episode of a brand new year.
And I'm Chelle, and how exciting is this? I feel like this is the year. Shaky start, whatever. Nobody cares. We are all going to rock it this year. Each and every one of us. Every one of us. This is it. I feel it.
I'm hopeful. I'm trepidatious. There's a lot to be worried for in America this year. There's a lot, new changes, things changing. Everything's weird. All over the world, things are a little bit weird. So I think we're all kind of tiptoeing into 2025, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's kind of like life. It's what you make of it, man. Just have a good attitude and it'll all be good.
I don't know. I guess I kind of have my shields up, but I'm still hoping for the best. That's kind of how I'm looking the whole brand new year. So
I feel that way every year.
there you go. I wouldn't say cautiously optimistic. I would say cautiously cautious, but still kind of hoping for the best.
Let's talk about this new year because,
Yeah.
magically, what are our plans? Let's talk about this. What can people do for the new year? Let's talk about that too.
Hopefully you did your New Year's Eve fun things. Maybe you opened the back door to let the old year out and opened the front door to let the new year in,
And chuck that cinnamon right out that door.
right? Maybe you cleansed your house right before midnight. Whatever your traditions are, I hope you had a great time, and I hope you didn't have a whiskey headache like Shell did.
It happens.
What I like to do and what Shell likes to do at the beginning of the year are
Tarot
tarot
reading.
readings.
Hell yeah.
Whether it's a little one or it's a big, huge one, actually, Shell, I was looking at a tarot spread that's pretty common. It's like the Wheel of the Year tarot spread, right? It's like 13
It is
cards.
really super common. And, I had thought about trying to come up with a brand new New Year's spread, but that's just been my go-to for so long that I don't know, New Year, wheel, I don't know, it works.
It's a great spread, but this year it made me think of the movie. Do you remember that movie we talked about, Tarot?
Tarot.
Right? Where they combined tarot and astrology in kind of a murdery, killy people way. And they and they did that spread. So now all I see when I look at that Wheel of the Year 13 card spread is that movie and the slightly cheesy way that people died because of that tarot spread.
And that is a version that I do like. I do like using 13 cards,
Mm.
not as a significator, but I do a card for the 12 months, but then kind of like and what does this all mean
Yeah,
card.
the culmination card, right?
Yeah,
The tie it all together card.
cherry
That's what
on
that
top.
Yeah, you could start with a significator if you wanted to, and then do your 12 cards in a circle and your 13th card on top of your significator.
Yeah, and obviously if you get any jumpers.
Everybody loves the jumpers lately. It seems to be such a big thing.
But there's a difference, okay? There's a difference between you're a shitty shuffler and cards are falling out and a
Exactly.
jumper. Okay, like there's definitely a difference between the two. And I think
I
that
agree.
sometimes people have issues telling the difference.
Or sometimes people want it to be special. They want something magical and extraordinary to have happened. So cards that quote unquote jump out of the deck fill that for a lot of people. And I'm not going to say that that's not a thing because 20, 30 years ago, when I was reading for clients, there were times when cards fell out. I was like, oh, that's important. Let's put that here.
Right.
Because, like you said, you can tell the difference.
Like we said a couple episodes ago, not every damn thing is a sign, though.
That's right. And not every card that falls out is because it's magic. It might just because you're a shitty shuffler.
Bingo.
So the 13 card, and I know this is a controversy too. Do you start putting your cards down with month one, January, at the 12 o'clock position on the clock or the 1 o'clock position on the clock?
Shit, I do it at 12 o'clock. I never thought of that. Why are you saying that? Now you're confusing me. Have I been doing this wrong?
No, no, you haven't. I think you can start anywhere you want to. And I'm pretty sure that depending on whose Wheel of the Year spread that you look at, you can either start your first card at 12 or your first card at 1. But to be honest, you can start it anywhere on the wheel
I
that
do
you'd
whatever the
like.
hell I want.
We know. That's what we love about you.
I guess I never thought about it that way. I guess January 1 would kind of make sense, but yeah, I just kind of plump and then go around.
Yeah, but also that northern position, that top position on the clock, also feels like a very natural place to start a year as well. So either one works.
It feels like you're starting, I try to do things and kind of think about what direction I'm in,
Hmm.
And, if I'm sitting in the north, wouldn't I put the first card down in the north? I don't know. That's what I'm doing. Why are you making me second guess myself?
I'm not. It's because I always did it wrong. I like to start with the first month on the first number. I guess I wouldn't exactly say I was doing it wrong. I just wasn't doing it the way that a lot of other people did it. The way my brain works,
12 ain't the first number to you, I
12's
know.
not the first number. The other thing that I could do is sometimes I like to do that wheel of the year. We've talked about it before as a birthday spread. So
Yeah.
I'll start it on the number of my month. So I'll start it at the two position. Or if I'm feeling super numerology and fancy, I might start my birth number's four. So I might start it on the number four of the wheel.
I usually for my birthday, I like to do a spread in the shape of the year I am turning.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about birthday spreads last year and we came up with the birthday sigil layout together. That's a good one. You could do that as a New Year's spread, a birthday sigil spread of the age you're going to be for the year.
I'm gonna need a lot of damn cards this year, by the way.
There's also Biddy Tarot. We did have the lovely Bridget on here from Biddy Tarot.
Love her.
She's great. And she has a New Year's tarot spread on her website, biddytarot.com. And this one is also 12 cards. Pretty common theme, right?
Yeah, but I put that 13th card kind of dead in the center.
Yeah, I do too. Hers is more of an inverted triangle, and she has a meaning for it. Rather than assign a month to each of these 12 cards, she has a different meaning for each position.
Oh,
Like hers goes in an inverted pyramid. So there's 5 cards, 4 cards, and then 3 cards. And so, like, number one is the previous year in summary. And then number two is the lessons learned from the past year. So you could do your Wheel of the Year spread and get an idea of each card correlating to the corresponding month for the next year. And then you could do the Biddy Tarot New Year spread and get, a little bit more of an in-depth reading on, lessons, things standing in your way, relationships, that kind of thing.
I do not need the tarot cards to tell me what lessons that I chose not to learn last year.
No,
Seriously.
you just need me.
Seriously.
Obviously, journal it, mostly because it's really, really nice to look back over years and years of New Year's Eve spreads or New Year's Day spreads that you've done and see what worked, what didn't work, what came true, see how far you've come.
But I will say, we talked about this on an episode, I don't know how far back, but we got a tarot journal from Red Wheel Wiser. And, that is a great thing that if you haven't already started to start this time of year. As much as I am anti your journaling concept, I do agree with journaling tarot, damn it.
Yeah. If I want to get you to do anything, if I just throw tarot into the mix, it makes it way easier.
I know, but like when you do that, you can kind of see patterns and you can get a better sense, especially if you're new to tarot, it can give you a better sense of your cards, of your intuition. It's a good exercise to learn tarot, but it's also a good window into what's coming if you are already an experienced tarot person.
And it can also help you identify patterns. Like I can think of a time right when I had kind of gotten out of college and I was reading a lot of cards. And I think, what was it, the Page of Pentacles? Not sure exactly what card was kind of following me around, but every time I did a reading for myself, I'd swear that Page of Pentacles kept popping up. And at the time, I knew that it meant, there was some new opportunity coming for me. I knew I was going to be changing jobs and I didn't want to. I didn't want to be leaving where I was. I didn't want to be doing these new things. And this card kept popping up to remind me that this was going to happen anyway.
I was going to say life ain't always about what you want.
That's right. It's kind of about what path are you on? And I wasn't recognizing the signs, but I started to look back over some tarot journaling that I had done, and I saw the card repeated. And if I hadn't been journaling it, I might not have noticed the pattern. Didn't help because I still didn't listen to myself or the cards, but at least I noticed the pattern.
Oh, see, there's your mistake. We're not telling you to listen. We're just telling you to journal it to see the
Journal it. That's
pattern.
right. We know you're not going to listen to yourself. We know you're going to have to kick yourself in the butt repeatedly, but at least journal it so you have evidence, I guess.
I also find the beginning of the year a good time to kind of catch up on some learning. It's a good time to read books. It is a good time to maybe try new things, especially magically, because you're home, you got nothing better to do. It's cold out.
At least here in the Northern Hemisphere.
Our Southern Hemisphere folks, I hope you are getting sun tans and beach time because I am jealous.
So jealous. But here we have time to do things like journal our tarot readings and brew lovely pots of tea. If you don't want to take a lot of time, I've got a simple three card New Year's spread for you, Shell.
Past, present, future.
No, not exactly.
Okay.
The first card is what to leave behind in 2024. The second card is what lessons, things you have learned, should you bring forward into 2025. And the third card is what should you prepare for? What do you need to expect or look out for? Or what can you anticipate coming to you in 2025? Just three cards.
See, for a whole year, I need more detail than that.
Yeah, me too. I like the bigger spreads. But if you just want something simple, do that as one of your evening three card tarot pulls.
You know what's also fun?
What's
What's
that?
also fun is if you can get your hands on, have you ever seen those little packages where you can basically buy like a three-card spread?
Yeah, I've seen that online. Didn't we get a gift in our
We did.
mailbox? We did get something like that, and I'm going to
We
bring it up.
did.
I'm going to shout this person out. Patty
Patty
Woods.
Woods.
Yeah, from pattywoods.com. Patty sent us these cute little three card readings. Honestly, it looks like I got my invitation to Hogwarts. I was really excited for a second. Yeah, I know J.K. Rowling's kind of a shit, but fuck it. I want to go to a magical school. But anyway, so yeah, I loved the wax seal and everything. It looks so great.
Now, to Patty Woods, if you are listening, I need you to email us at backonthebroomstick@gmail.com and tell me what deck these cards are from because I need it. I will die without it.
The hologram ones?
Yeah. Patty, I need to know. Email me.
Yeah, so pattywoods.com is one of the places that will do that. So you can do that. You can go to a company, you could have somebody else do it, but you could just do it yourself or have your friend pull three cards for you.
Just do it. Just pull cards.
Just
Just
do it.
whenever in doubt, pull cards.
Especially at the beginning of the year. If you're not going to do any tarot readings at all for yourself the rest of the year, which is just silly, you should do it all the time. But at least just do one. Just do one. Do one at the beginning of the year.
And do it now.
And do it now. Do it right now. Go get your cards, unless you're driving. Wait if you're driving. But other than that, go grab your cards, grab your journal. You deserve this. You deserve 15 minutes of time just for you and your cards.
Even if you have to pull them in the bathroom.
Hey, sometimes the bathroom was my best friend. It was the only place I got any privacy.
It was the only place my kids would leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. So, going forward for 2025, Shell, what are your wishes? What are your hopes and dreams for 2025 for your witchy self?
That we just keep doing this and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
That is an easy one.
One of the coolest things I did this past year, I'm looking at right now, was one of our first episodes of 2024 was a try it where we did money bowls. And I am still using the exact same money bowl that I put together January of 2024. And I'm kind of excited because now it's got all these little wax clusters and interesting things that I've stuck into it throughout the year. And one of my rituals for January is going to be to clean this out and refresh it, decide what goes back into it, what I'm going to respectfully dispose of or repurpose to other spells, and then have a brand new, yet kind of still the same money bowl for 2025.
So my money bowl didn't fare as well because I think my cats knocked it over a few times. And then my grandson came and like grabbed it and threw it across the room. Like my money bowl has been struggling, but I have pieced it back together each and every time.
Yeah, hey, sometimes that's what we got to freaking do with our finances, right? Energetically, I guess that's kind of the same
Piece
thing.
that shit back together.
Put it back together. Some of the things that I'm planning on doing this year for New Year's are a little bit different. And Shell, how sometimes when you start thinking about something magically or an idea or something comes to you, you start seeing it everywhere.
Everywhere. Yes. That's because it wasn't really your idea. Okay.
That's right. That's right. The goddess has definitely got plans. I know for you this year, the owl was a big one. You've mentioned on a
Lord.
previous, yeah.
Absolutely.
So you've mentioned on a previous episode how that owl just keeps following you around. For me, for the last couple months, Every once in a while, people would talk about New Year's and they talk about resolutions, right? If you're going to
That's
make a
bullshit. You know how
resolution.
I feel about resolutions. The
I
lies to
do.
yourself, people. Lies to yourself.
So I was starting to throw around the idea of an era. I was going to have 2025 be the era of something for Layla.
You are so Taylor Swift right now.
I think it was one of those drag queen shows that I got that from. Anyway, so I was going to have it be an era. And then I think one of my kids was watching an old James Bond movie, GoldenEye, maybe.
Oh, Lord.
And one of the characters was talking about her personal motto. And I thought, oh, maybe it'll be a motto. And then just recently, again, I know we've talked about her forever, but I have the biggest witch crush on Irene Glass. And she was talking about a word. She likes to pick a word for her year, you know? And so I've been really playing with this idea and I'm really loving it, not to make a commitment or a resolution, but to pick an idea, to pick a word or a motto or a phrase that's my touchstone for the year. That's who I want to be. That's what I want to be the vibe for the whole 2025.
I I don't go into the new year like that. I'm going into this year cautiously optimistic. Every year, I always say, this year I'm going to be a little more witchy, a little more magical, and that's always the goal. But I'm definitely going into this year a little more cautious, but I am very motivated going into this year in a magical kind of way, and that
Hmm.
cannot mean anything other than great things. But
Right?
that's probably how I'm headed into this year is very magically motivated.
Feels like there's a lot of tension this year, but it also feels like this is going to be the year to double down on the witchy feral side of me, you know? I've pushed that down and tried to make that normal for too long, and I'm done doing that.
You are my nomad friend.
So, in that light, a lot of the things that I'm doing this January are, basic witchy things to prepare for the year, cleaning the house, using simmer pots to use scent to clean, using moon water and simmer pot water to refresh wards, in cleansing spells, in new beginning spells. And I do have a candle spell that can be done in January that's supposed to kind of give you an idea of what your year will look like.
Okay.
And take a taper candle and you slice 12 lines in it. Just cut 12 horizontal lines in the candle. Try to keep them as equal as possible. And if there's room, you can put a letter or a sigil or a symbol to symbolize a wish or an intention, 12 of them that you have for the year. So you make your line, and then next to it, just make a dot or a tiny little symbol or write the word, however you want to do it to represent your wish. So you'll have 12 wishes like health, wealth, prosperity, whatever. Keep going till you have 12. Then take your candle and put it someplace safe and burn it. Let it burn all the way down. And here's where the divination comes in. After you light the candle, take your journal and sit with the candle. Watch it. Get into alpha state if you want to. Maybe chant if you feel like it, or just sit and watch the fire.
If you can't burn it all at the same time.
I like to use those little Hanukkah candles or menorah candles. They're a little bit bigger, but they'll burn for less than an hour. Sometimes they'll call them 3 hour candles, but they only burn for like an hour. And then as you sit with it and meditate, as the flame melts down to each line, notice how it's burning. See how you're feeling. See if you see anything interesting in the way that the wax is melting. See if you can see any symbols in the way that the flame burns. Does it suddenly burn up higher? Does it start to gutter? Does it try to go out? Is it smoking more now? Notice how you feel and anything different about how the candle is burning, and that can give you some insight into either that month of the year or that particular wish or goal that you put into the line. And then once the candle has burned all the way down, finish writing in your journal how you feel about it. And then you move on to putting the wax on your altar, in your money bowl, or thanking it for its service and disposing of it properly. And there's your spell. There you go. Simple candle spell.
I'm so basic. I might not do it on New Year's Day. It depends on how the night went before. But within the first couple of days, I always do kind of a wheel of the year spread. You can find them anywhere online, that spread,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of that 12 card wheel just to see what these months are bringing me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always down for a good tarot reading. It's a go-to for me. But I love your candle spell, but I'm just concerned that if I am not home long enough to burn it all in one shot, does that mean because I was only home for an hour that an hour's worth of stuff is easy and the rest is hard. Like, I don't want that either. Like, then I'm going to be locked in the house because I don't want to leave.
Then I think that means that your next year will need to require a lot more pre-planning because you shouldn't do a spell where the candle's going to burn for 3 hours if you're only going to be home for an hour.
Or patient.
Or patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're going to be home for the afternoon, that's when you're going to do it. If you're going to be home for the evening, that's when you're going to want to do it. So it doesn't have to be on New Year's Eve. Right around New Year's is fine. But pick a time when you're going to be home long enough to let the whole thing burn. There you go. Otherwise, pick a different spell. But this episode kind of is the last of our, I wouldn't say forgotten episodes or, lost half of the year, but we're about ready to get back into work mode
Yeah.
now that the new year is here and the holidays are over and our second anniversary is coming up.
Mind blowing.
We have a lot of spells and magic and ritual and all sorts of things coming up in 2025 that we're getting ready to share with all of you. So, new lessons, new classes, new conversations, new interviews, so much coming up.
We have been working very hard to make this a fabulous year for not only us, but for you guys as well. So I hope you're enjoying the ride because it's about to get way more fun and witchy.
Oh, yeah. Stay along and make sure to like, subscribe, tell a friend, check out our YouTube, hop on to Blue Sky, Facebook, join the community. We have some wonderful witches on our Back on the Broomstick podcast discussion group on Facebook. There's also a Year of the Dark Goddess study group going on. So if you want to jump in on that, it's not too late.
And don't forget, Layla, we have a P.O. box and we love mail. I feel like Blue's Clues. I love mail.
We're not singing it because we did it terribly last time.
I'm not singing it. You heard it once, folks. You're never hearing it again. So if you are so inclined to send us some mail, we are at Back on the Broomstick at P.O. Box 106, Salem, Massachusetts, 01970.
And coming up here, probably in the next week or so, we will be doing our very first Solarium mail review where we go through all the different lovely things you guys have sent us,
I
answer
can't even wait to talk
questions.
about this. I can't even wait to talk about the mail.
Me either. You guys are amazing. I am super impressed. We have like the best, most creative,
We
coolest
have
listeners out there.
we have
Witchiest
laughed.
folks.
Yeah, we have laughed, we have cried, we have
We've
squealed.
gasped in awe.
Yeah, I mean, all of the feels have been there with this mail. So yeah, we're gonna chat about that next time.
Yeah, we'll chat about that on a solarium. We're also this year going to be bringing back a little bit of the Stoned Witches Hour in the form of some spooky solariums coming up.
People have been like chomping at the bit for us to bring back
Yeah,
Stoned Witches Hour. So yeah, we're gonna intermingle some of that Stoned Witches Hour vibe back in. And don't worry, for those of you who are just concerned, I will be talking about cryptids once again.
definitely will. And our 100th episode, it's coming up right around our 2 year anniversary, which is right around my birthday. So we should do something super, super special for our 100th episode and our second year anniversary.
I'm going to interject something that you had no idea I was going to say prior. People, I am asking you, personal favor to Shell. Will you please send Layla birthday cards? That would just make her damn day. Her birthday is on in bulk in February. Please send her a
Aw.
birthday card. P.O. Box 106, Salem, Mass. 01970.
That's so sweet. Yeah, that would be very cool. And we will talk about it on an upcoming solarium.
I just want you to get a ton of birthday cards. That's all.
It's been very cool, all the emails and messages that we've gotten the last few years from you guys. So thank you so much. And yeah, our second anniversary, that just blows my mind. I think that's one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to in the beginning of the year is celebrating. I mean, I got us brooms last year and I'm a little broke. I can't quite go that big this year, but I'm excited about our anniversary anyway.
And we get a lot of messages and letters where people say that they're so happy that we do this and if it wasn't for us. And I turn around and say, no, if it wasn't for
For
you
you
guys.
guys.
I mean, without all of you listeners, this would just be Layla and I being weirdos on Zoom together.
And we're not opposed to that. We will
We're
absolutely hang
not,
out and be witchy and weird
totally.
on Zoom together.
But it's just very touching.
So cool having you guys along for the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love having you in our little witchy circle. That being said, Happy New Year. We hope 2025 is witchy and wonderful for all of you.
Happy New Year, everyone. Keep it witchy.